I'm not retiring. How much longer are you going to coach? And my answer is always the same. As long as we keep winning these bowl games, everybody's happy, we're ranked, life's pretty good, I guess I can go several more years. But if it starts going south, starts going bad, then I need to get out. You can't keep a head coach that's done it as long as I have when it's heading in the wrong direction. And really today, when I move out of the way and Sean Elliott's going to take over as the interim head coach, it sort of starts our rebuilding or building back what we had just 2 years ago. And it was only 2 years ago that we were fourth in the nation and the last of those 11-2s. And somehow or another, we've slid, and it's my fault. I'm responsible. I'm the head coach. And it's time for me to sort of get out of the way and let somebody else have a go at it. And I really believe Sean will bring some enthusiasm, energy, passion that our team will accept. And I think we'll all be proud of the way our guys play out there Saturday. I'm looking forward to watching it myself. The part about what right now, President said, why can't you just go through the end of the year and announce this is your last year? I find that doesn't work a lot, because if the players know you're not going to be their coach after such a time, you just don't have the accountability, I think. And also, it gives us a chance to hire an interim head coach. Gives us a chance. Coach Tanner hired Sean, and gives him a chance to make his mark for these next 6 games. And I think the team needs to hear a new message, a new voice from another coach. And Sean's going to do that, and I think he's going to do an outstanding job. And hopefully it'll work out. Hopefully a lot of our coaches on the staff here will still be here next year. And of course, I'm pulling for Sean. But it gives us a little time to start rebuilding. Yesterday, I was sort of a recruiting liability. It's hard to recruit when your coach has done it a long time and at a certain age. The recruits want to know that guy's going to be there 5-10 years from now. And with a new coach here, I think it really is going to pick up recruiting. I really believe that. So we got a new message going, and I think our rebuilding process is in place. Just looking back here, I thank Dr. Sorensen and Mike McGee. Mike McGee basically hired me with Dr. Sorensen's approval back in 2004. I think I was probably the best coach for this job 11 years ago, but I'm not today. I'm not today, and that's the cycle of coaching.
Okay, that's Steve Spurrier, and making his announcement. This press conference went on for a long time, and I don't know. He actually seemed kind of relaxed. First time I've ever seen him when I thought he was relaxed, Cobb, and so I had thought this would be his last year. I did not think it would be his last game last week.
Well, there's two different ways to look at it. That he's making a decision to benefit University of South Carolina and the University of South Carolina football program, or the going got tough and he quit and picked up his ball and went home. So I guess it just depends on your point of view, but he never had a losing season in the SEC.
And it looked like he may be on his way to one.
Oh, yeah, he was well on his way.
And so that might have something to do with it, too. Yeah,
and,
right.
They're not. They've got some significant games in front of them, but 8 years ago today, the same thing happened at Clemson. A head coach resigned.
Mm-hmm.
An unknown wide receiver coach was named interim head coach, and now you look at what's happened there. So I have told my South Carolina friends that it can turn in a hurry, and it can be great one day and awful the next. So it just takes the right person to get in there and get it done. Now, football, of course, when you lose the recruiting grip and you lose the recruiting
That's the whole story.
strongholds, then it's a little bit harder to recover than it is in basketball, where 2 or 3 people can turn the entire situation around if you get the right players. So they've got some recruiting work to do to rebuild that.
Yeah, I understand that at least 2 have already decommitted, as it is, a couple of guys.
Right.
Sean Elliott is the line coach and has been for 6 years down there. Prior to then, he played at and coached at Appalachian State. He was there during their glory days of 3 national championships.
Right.
Now, here is their wish list. And part of this came from, I don't want to say who, a friend of ours, Cobb. He was talking about even last week that in case something happened, they had some people in mind, and nothing but big.
Any good AD has a file in his drawer with names in it.
Wish list. Chip Kelly, coach of the Eagles, who may not be happy. Okay? All right. Mark D'Antonio, former Gamecock, having a great time at Michigan State.
Forget about it.
Tom Herman, Houston, tearing it up.
Might do it.
Tearing it up
That's
out there.
possible. That's possible.
I can't pronounce Jake Spitvatal, the Texas A&M offensive coordinator, only 30 years old, though.
Ain't gonna happen.
Okay. Mike Gundy, Oak State.
Ain't gonna happen.
Ain't gonna happen. I mean,
Even though he and Boone are kind of have been at loggerheads in recent years.
I thought he might be fishing around.
But he's unbeaten again, and they've got TCU, Baylor, and Oklahoma all coming to Stillwater, so they're going to have a say in who wins the Big 12.
Ed Orgeron, defensive. No, you don't think he's coaching defensive line out at LA? You don't think he'd like to be head coach again in the SEC?
What about
Why?
The Fuentes guy at Memphis?
Okay, he's on the wish list.
I've seen that name.
They're undefeated. Okay,
I like that one.
Kirby Smart, DC at Bama. He said. He says
because they might make a move in Athens, and he's always been on their list.
Oh, okay. Hadn't thought about that, although we've talked about it earlier. And then here's a name that I think is the most far out name, Rich Rodriguez out of Arizona.
Well,
that's
the
way
word
out.
is he wants to get back east, and his wife would like to get back to the East Coast.
Yeah, but he'd like to get around Maryland.
But
Wouldn't you?
That one's more likely than Chip Kelly or Mark D'Antonio.
Well, those are the names that have been thrown around now. They're probably already getting 150 agents calling them and writing them and texting and emailing right now. And so it's a darn good job now. Spurrier has made it a good job, and it pays good money.
It's a better job than when he got there.
Sure.
I'll say that. I still don't know if it's a great job just because of location and lack of tradition.
Okay. Also, some other jobs that I think are coming open. I think the Miami job may come open.
Yeah.
Unless they turn it around quickly.
That's possible.
That job is coming open.
Well, when they're flying when they're flying the Fire You banner at away games.
Yeah.
Fire Al Golden, then you're in trouble. You need to probably start getting your resume together.
I remember one time there was when they going through their problems at Alabama, had 2 or 3 coaches in there. A banner was flown over the stadium at Alabama that said, "Danny Ford, call home." You remember that one? That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Okay, so those are the ones, and none of the people on that list may have any interest. They may not really have interest in them, though. But guys like us got to have somebody to talk about.
Well, I guarantee you those mid-level guys will. I mean, the Fuentes guy at Memphis,
Herman,
that one,
Houston,
and Herman at Houston, that one. Those two, to me, are the most interesting of the candidates, and I think you've got to hire an offensive guy. And
sure, you got to, yeah.
Even though they've got problems on both sides of the ball, but their biggest problems are on offense right now. And you've got to hire a guy that plays an attractive style of football, and both of those guys like to throw it all over the lot. So. But yeah, But the thing about it is we got half a season and probably a good bit more of that to continue to talk about this before something's done. But I would expect something to be done, maybe a week or so after the regular season.
Oh, yeah. Well, they'll have to do some because they've got to get some recruiting in.
Recruiting going, and that's when they'll have to do it.
Okay, that's going to kind of wrap up our little program today. I'm sorry, and I apologize for all the technical glitches that we have had today, but that's just the way it is. Ken Allison and Cobb Oxford, Mostly Sports Talk. See you later.